6 o'clock.
Touchdown into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington State.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Washington State Sports Network. This is the Cougar Basketball Hour on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield. Tonight's show is brought to you by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank is a proud supporter of Cougar athletics. Together, there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Tonight's show is also brought to you by Zeppos, where the Palouse comes to play and eat. Now with Coach Kamie Ethridge, here's your host, Steve Grubbs.
Well, thank you very much, and a very pleasant Wednesday evening to you all as we welcome you into the Cougar Basketball Hour as we are live from Zeppos, as it is your Cougar Basketball Hour with head coach of Washington State University women's basketball, Kamie Ethridge. And Coach, it appears, doesn't matter whether it's a Monday or whether it's a Wednesday, the folks still want to come out and see you and hear from you and get involved with Cougar women's basketball.
I love it, and we're not talking about anybody's social activities. We're just glad that we're a part of your social activities, no matter what day of the week it is.
Not mine. You're talking about everybody else out there, because I've got very little on the social calendar other than Washington State University.
Well, we're not getting judgmental on anyone's.
All right. Well, happy to have you with us. Washington State coming off of a 65-57 victory over Oregon State, with that now 8-4 in West Coast Conference. Yeah, that was a big win in Corvallis, Coach. Coming off of a couple of losses and really felt like we needed to win. Came out and played really well in the first half. Talk about that first half, first of all, when we jumped out to a 42-21 lead. The 27 points we had in the second quarter, the most we've scored in any quarter so far this season, and we outscored them 27-9 to get that big halftime lead.
Well, I just thought we were really well prepared. And, again, sometimes the second time through you kind of know exactly how you want to guard people. And I thought, Lori Kane, she was our primary scout on that, and I thought she did a great job of just dialing in. Like, that's the point. The second time you go through somebody, you should know the scout. You should know how we're going to play people. And I thought that second quarter was as good as we could be offensively, moving the ball and making shots. It's not just about, ball movement. Like, we've really had really good ball movement. We haven't made the shot at the back end, and everybody worries about, we can't make a shot. Well, this was a game where we made every shot in the second quarter. And we want that to be a normal thing. We want to do that all the time. But it was a great example of great ball movement, and then it was a really awesome example of just – a great scout, how we wanted to guard them, and obviously we put it together and created a big lead for ourselves.
10 out of 13 from the three-point line in that first half, including 4 big ones from Tara Wallach, and on a single play, back-to-back threes where we had a three-pointer. They called a foul away from the ball, and then she hits another three-pointer.
6-point play.
That was a big 6-point play for us at that point. That's really what kind of stretched things out there in the second quarter.
Yeah, I mean, just excited for her, and again, all our players, they're spending an extra time in the gym to try to get some shots up, and that's what we need. We need players to take time to get extra shots, because you don't get them in practice. You don't get the shots in practice that you need. Tara's just been beside herself a couple of times over lack of three-point production or post-production, and she's just gotten very committed to that. And obviously when it happens in a game, it's awesome.
Yeah, so again, the Cougars built that big lead. Oregon State did have the run in the fourth quarter as we kind of dried up a little bit, but enough for us to get to the finish line as we end up winning the game 65-57. And sometimes it doesn't matter in certain stretches as long as you've got enough in the first half, and this happened to be the case there. Obviously, I'm sure you weren't happy with the way the fourth quarter unfolded, but again, a win's a win, especially on the road in this conference.
No, I would like to talk about not being happy.
Okay.
I'd rather talk about
that.
The
floor is yours.
It's a learning process, and we got a little tentative, and the whole point of spacing on the court, and we talk about it all the time, like how we enter offense. If we're aggressive and we're very directed in how we enter offense, we generally have great offensive execution. When we're a little clumsy, that's the best word.
Okay.
Not the greatest spacing, a little hesitant. We tend to have hesitant possessions, and we we got a little wacky on our spacing, and it's just something we got to improve on because it's going to happen as we go through the course of the season. And again, excited about our team and that we can grow in that area. It's not a terrible thing. Yes, we had the lead. Yes, we made big plays. AT made a huge play, made some free throws. People made some big plays in the fourth quarter that helped us hang on. But it's really more about look at this. We can grow from this in so many areas. And obviously, even today was an area where we tried to improve on that.
And L.A. made, I think, a couple of big shots in that fourth quarter as well. A couple of those mid-range shots that somehow, again, with that drive, we were able to get those off. And that's kind of a little bit of what they were giving us defensively in that fourth quarter, too.
Yeah. They play kind of a drop. They keep their posts really deep on pick and rolls. And they're just saying, you make mid-range jump shots or you miss them. And we're going to count on that you miss those more than anyone. And we got two spectacular players. LA is amazing at those shots, and AT is really, really good at those shots. And we're the same way. We want to create those same shots for the other team. But LA made some amazing shots, got fouled on a couple and didn't get called. That was distressing for all of us. But, it was just great to see just responses that we had, and we're able to read the defense and create opportunities for ourselves.
Also for Washington State, Estera Tahina in that contest to double digits along with L.A. and Tara Wallach. AT getting back to 100% healthy, you think? Is she on the road to being 100% healthy, or is she 100% healthy? Or just kind of?
I think she is, but, it's just anything. Emotional, physical, mental, are you 100%? Right. It's just a hard thing that we're asking our players to be. I think that's the point. Like, it's hard to travel. It's hard to be on edge. It's hard to be competitive. It's hard to be savage, and it's especially hard for point guards to be all those things at what they need to be. And clearly, if you're a little bit down with a fatigue or a sickness or something like that, but AT knows what she needs to do for our team and obviously wants to step into those situations and did against Oregon State. So we've got to be happy for her and with our team.
Did have a question about the game as well. You and Scott had a talk at halftime. It looked like you two were having a good time, according to the people that were viewing in. You want to share us in on any of that conversation, or is that
I
more
don't
of a
even
private?
know what to say. Scott came over to our bench before the game and stayed for like 5 minutes.
Gave me a fist bump on the way by.
And we talked about his son. His son is a really good golfer and is played on the professional tour for a Scottish Open or something like that. So I just learned a million things about that. And I like other coaches talking, so he was talking about that. But we talked forever about that, and he stayed down there. And then he came out in the second half and stayed down there with us. Deb Patterson, one of my assistants, she was like, at some point she just grabbed me and said, "Quit letting him distract you. Stop it. Get over here." And she thought it was a strategy of his to distract me from whatever's going on. And clearly he was telling me about how all the teams had shot so well on that end, and then right. I don't know what to say. We didn't shoot as well on the other end, but I don't know what to say. But he's quite the talker, and anyway, he's a good guy, and we're good with all that, and I'm just glad our team went into that environment, tough environment, hostile environment, lost momentum, and still found a way to win that game. That was big.
Absolutely. Again, the Cougars with that win, 8-4 in the conference, 13-10 overall. And here's even better news: home for the next couple of games for the Washington State University Cougars. How about this? Back-to-back home games. We don't have to leave this week to go anywhere. We're home Thursday night and on Saturday.
Mention that.
Yeah, and Thursday, if you show up, we've got, and you can come up and take a look at these if you want throughout the show. They're playing cards, and you can get those if you show up. It is a picture of all the players, and on the back it says "Get to Know going so you can get to know all the different players. So little playing card collectibles. If you show up Thursday at Beasley Coliseum, make sure you show up early and get ready for a 6 o'clock start time. Pacific coming to town, and then San Diego is going to be in town on Saturday afternoon. That matchup against San Diego is going to be at noon, and then we have until the next Saturday, and that's a short trip. Make your plans to head on up to Spokane and invade Gonzaga when we take on the Gonzaga Bulldogs on Saturday the 9th. So we're here in the Pacific Northwest for a good chunk here of the remaining part of the schedule. That's got to be good for you guys. I think our next flight's 2 weeks from Saturday over to Portland.
Nice.
So,
nice. It's about time.
Absolutely. All right, we'll talk more about the win. We'll talk a little bit more about the road trip, about what's coming up. We're going to have a player on as well. Dee going to be joining us. Is that right, Diana Mendez?
Yes.
All right, so we'll be visiting with her. Come on up if you've got questions.
Everybody, anyone that speaks French, get ready.
Get ready for that. Have any questions for Dee? Have any questions for Coach E? Come up and grab a slip of paper, write it down, and we'll get it for you. All right, it's your Cougar Basketball Hour. We're live from Zeppo's. Great to have you with us on a Wednesday night special edition from Learfield.
Spokane International Airport is a proud sponsor of Washington State University Athletics. The airport connects Cougar fans and alums with over 50 daily departures to 18 nonstop destinations provided by 6 major airlines, as well as one-stop connections to most major metropolitan centers throughout the U.S. Real-time arrival and flight departure information is available at SpokaneAirports.net. Spokane International Airport, when it's time to fly.
The tradition, the rivalries. Sirius XM is your destination for all things college sports, and we've got you covered. On Pac-12 Radio, there is complete coverage of every school in the conference, including live games, plus 24/7 talk and analysis. So cheer along on the Sirius XM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. And now you can get 3 months of Sirius XM free. Subscribe now. See offer details at SiriusXM.com/Pac-12 Sports.
This is my barbershop. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
Welcome to the Pullman Man Shop, Pullman's #1 barbershop, where our seasoned barbers give you precision haircuts, buzz cuts, and straight razor shaves so sharp when we're done, your face will look like the day you were born. While we're working on that dome of yours, enjoy free shuffleboard, free pool, free arcade games, and ATVs. That's right, maggot. You can play while we turn that head of hair into something presentable. We'll fix it. Can't and won't are not words we'll use. The Pullman Man Shop, 1025 East Main. Visit themanshops.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle Thornton, linebacker and captain of your Washington State University Cougar football team. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, I recommend my friend and supporter, Krista Gross. She is a 3-time Realtor of the Year and a big fan of Cougar athletics. The only thing she enjoys more than supporting the Cougs is providing excellent service. Check her Google reviews to see how much her clients love her. You can find her online at KristaGross.com. That's Krista with a K. KristaGross.com. Go Cougs!
Well, we welcome you back to Zeppo's again Wednesday night Cougar Basketball Hour with head coach Kamie Ethridge. Cougar Nation, each time you bring your Toyota vehicle to be serviced at a local and participating Toyota dealership, you can receive a premium Washington State giveaway item as a member of the Toyota Rewards Program. To join the program, it's easy. Visit WSUCougars.com/Toyota Rewards. Coach did have some people come up and ask me about the officiating. I know we've talked about this a little bit. I know, and you can say as little or as much as you want on Saturday at Los Angeles against Loyola Marymount.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Obviously I had a terrible technical because I think that cost us some points. But, we had the official evaluator at the Oregon State game. Mm-hmm. And quite frankly, I don't know if you guys know Bob. Do y'all know Bob, the official? He's temperamental, and you can't mess with him.
Right.
But he's really good. You want him on big games, and he was at Oregon State, so that was a good thing. But I don't know what to say. I feel like LA never gets calls that other drivers get. I think she never gets there's just people, there's things that we do on offensive end that I think are a disadvantage. And, what do you do? We can do a lot of things. We can send film in. I've just gotten to the point where it's just not worth it.
Just doesn't appear as though it's changing, though, either, right?
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
And so I make a big point, and I have when I do my scout or when I watch the evaluation, I have a bucket where I want to send them in, and then I never do. So,
and I mean, for that game, and certainly they didn't help by any stretch of the imagination on Saturday, but offensively we were pretty good against Loyola Marymount. Defensively we were okay at times, and I mean, Nadia Evans, I mean, they made a lot of tough shots in that game on Saturday, and you're going to get sometimes, especially a team like Loyola Marymount who's got a chip on their shoulder, you're going to get their best shot.
I mean, I just thought we had a total advantage inside, and we could have just dominated in the post, and we didn't. We lost track of that. Sometimes you just have to outscore people. And in that kind of game, they were phenomenal players that, I mean, Scott even said at the thing, he was like, I've never seen her play like that.
Yeah.
No one has seen her play like that. Sometimes you just get special players that rise up. But we had such an advantage in the post, and we lost our way a little bit. We should have outscored them. I mean, sometimes you just have to outscore people.
Right.
Sometimes it's just hard to match up defensively. That's not always the case with us. I mean, it's actually a difficult thing. But in this league, I actually think we need to be a little bit more offensive-minded. And when people do special things, you got to rise up and you got to be better in other parts of the game. And quite frankly, I mean, as we made some mistakes defensively, but they were spectacular on some of their shot making. So at some point, you just have to, okay, we're gonna score over you, and we didn't quite do that. Although I thought we played really, really hard and did some really good things, and you know we can get better from that game as well.
Again, Washington State playing Loyola Marymount the first time. Again, we get all these teams the second time around, just like we did with Oregon State. And I bring that up because, and I haven't gone through to crunch the numbers or anything like that, but you guys, I think you, and I'm not saying this just because you're sitting next to me and just because I'm with Washington State, but I do think you guys do a phenomenal job of scouting. And I think the second time around when you play teams, it just looks like we're a little bit more dialed in, as you should be, right? But at the same time, do you feel like that could be an advantage? Like this first time through, okay, we haven't seen these programs before. We haven't seen this type of officiating before. Now we get second runs at some of these teams, and now we know a little bit more about what they're about, what systems they run, can put different players, and not just video and tape, but recollection of what they did against us. And so the second time around, we can have some success against some of these teams?
You know, you hope that. I think the bigger point is, you know, by this time of the year, you've seen everything.
Right.
You've seen every kind of pick and roll. You've seen every kind of player, and you have to have some ideas of how to guard that. And you have to be versatile, and you have to be able to guard differently. And we're still trying to figure some of those things out. But by now, you're pretty much aware of what other people do, and you're pretty much. If you don't know how to guard something, you're not going to figure it out now. It's too late. You're scouting, and so I feel like we're big and we're long. We can play big. We can do some different things that I think really help us in those situations. But we're still learning as well. And I keep going back to, you know, there's times when I look out on the floor and we have 4 freshmen and a sophomore on the court, and no one in our league has that.
Right.
So our ceiling of still learning and growing and getting better is way up there. They're getting better every single time they get on the court. And so I think the fact that we can continue to get better over these next 6 weeks, that's big for us.
Speaking of which, defensively, a couple of plays really stood out for me, and it was more than that. But, I mean, Shasha really got her. I think that she really got into it defensively in this last game. I remember her a couple of times just saying, no, that basketball is mine. And again, just showing a little bit about her grit and what she brings to the team now that she's back in with the team after that layoff, maybe even a little bit more hungry to do some of those things for us.
No, she's a beast. She's just mean, and she's serious about everything, and she just wants to win, and she's just pursuing the ball. I love it. Competitive, wants to be great, you know, thick-skinned, wants the shot, wants all those things. I mean, it's awesome. And again, getting her back on the court and giving us that depth, that those positions that she plays is big for us.
Another person that can be a beast for us, Diana Mendez. Dee, let's talk with her next. Is that okay with you?
I love it.
All right, we'll talk to Dee next.
Go,
again, if you've got
girl.
questions, give us some questions. We've got a few things for her as well. We will do it all for you, but first we'll take a break, and then we'll come back with Dee. She'll be with us for a couple of segments. It's the Cougar Basketball Hour with Kamie, Ethridge, and Dee next right here from Learfield.
Nothing works up an appetite like cheering for your Cougs on game day. So why not cheer them on at Northern Quest with an impressive roster of restaurants and lounges? You can tackle the menu at Epic and catch every play on the 10 by 30-foot screen. Or grab a steak at Maslow's, a fine cigar at Legends of Fire, even a burger from Fat Burger. You know, for your inner linebacker. See more at northernquest.com. Go Cougs!
Hey, Coug fans! Can't decide what to do with your late-night weekends? Why not Cosmic Bowling? Every Friday and Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. is Cosmic Bowling at Zeppo's. At a price designed with everyone in mind, we are your destination for music, disco lights, and of course, bowling. Can't join us on the weekends? Zeppo's is the place to be for all ages every day of the week. With bowling, food, and drink specials, we offer prices that won't break the budget. You can even reserve your lane in advance with online reservations at Zeppos.com. When looking for fun in Pullman, look no further than Zeppo's.
Hi, I'm Caden Wickersham, a pitcher on your Washington State University Cougar baseball team. I want to tell you about Krista Gross, a big supporter of mine. She's someone who's always there, helping me without being asked. Krista makes sure I have what I need to succeed, and she'll do the same thing for you. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, trust someone with a big heart and a winning track record. Find her online at KristaGross.com. That's Krista with a K, KristaGross.com.
I'm Krista Gross, your lifelong realtor. Find me online at KristaGross.com. That's Krista with a K, KristaGross.com.
Looking sharp has never been this much fun. Pullman's #1 barbershop, the Pullman Man Shop, is more than just haircuts. It's an experience. Our seasoned barbers deliver precision haircuts, buzz cuts, and real straight razor hot towel shaves that'll leave you looking and feeling your absolute best. And while you're here, enjoy free shuffleboard, free pool, and free arcade games. WSU students and faculty receive 20% off any service every Thursday. Step into the Pullman Man Shop at 1025 East Main, where style meets good times. Walk-ins only. themanshops.com.
Well, we welcome you back. It is the Cougar Basketball Hour. Happy to be with you here on this Wednesday night as we will be visiting with Dee coming up in just a bit. First, a reminder that you can earn your bragging rights at Northern Quest with more slot machines, table games, restaurants, lounges, and luxury hotel rooms than anyone else in the region. Northern Quest, yes, the best. More at northernquest.com. So we welcome in Dee as she gets herself situated right next to me, and we'll get her mic up and ready to go. Let's move that just down and then the mic up just a little bit. There we go. How are we doing tonight?
Good, and you?
I'm doing great, thank you. It's what do you think about this crowd as we get ready here on a Wednesday night?
I like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's a question for you. Obviously, I think most people know that you are from France.
Yeah.
Let's start first with when did you first start playing basketball, and when did you know that basketball was going to be the thing that is the sport that you wanted to pursue and take real seriously?
I started basketball at 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was young, I played so much sport before because I was super active.
All right.
And I just ended up choose between track and field and basketball, but I already had knees problems, so I just chose basketball because obviously it was hard for track and field.
For track and field, were you a runner, or did you do different type of field events, or was it a little bit of both?
Sprint.
Sprint?
Yeah.
And do you use you've got the speed. I can certainly see that even in basketball, but just that athleticism. Is everybody in your family athletic, or are you kind of the rare one that just kind of got the athletic gene?
Yeah, my sister and my brother are athletic too.
Yeah. And then you played in France and won a championship over there while you were playing with one of the leagues, didn't you? Talk a little bit about that and who you were playing with and what championship you won.
I was in Division 2, and I was playing with some girls I had before when I was younger.
Uh-huh.
And I was not playing a lot, but just be part of that was amazing for me and a good experience.
And how old were you at this point in time when you were playing with them and winning that championship?
I think I was 18.
18.
Yeah.
Okay. And we do have a question from one of our audience members here. Where did you first learn the English language, and then how difficult is it to adapt to playing in a foreign country? Let's start with the first one. Where did you first learn the English language? Because I think you're pretty good at it.
When I was in kindergarten, but it was not like really English.
Okay.
Like it was just learn to say the colors.
Okay.
And things like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then how difficult is it to adapt to playing in a foreign country? I would think basketball is probably the first thing that comes natural because basketball is basketball to some degree, but at the same time, how difficult has it been to adapt playing in a foreign country?
I think communicate with my teammates was not the hard part because we are a lot of international, so
Yeah.
we can try to understand each other with different ways. But the most difficult thing was on the court, I think, like because yeah, there is some same words because it's English,
Right.
but sometimes it's just too fast. So yeah.
And
It's
then, again, visiting with Diana Mendez. Am I saying that right first? And D is what Coach E calls you. Have you always been known as D, or is that kind of a Coach E thing?
It's more that a coach's things, but when I was in France, just one of my coach called me D, but it was just my individual coach.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what made you choose Washington State University, and what do you think about Pullman so far that you've been at Washington State University?
I did visit in February last year,
Uh-huh.
and on my visit, I shared with the girls, but I was not feeling like I'm really a person who chose with my heart,
Uh-huh.
and I was not feeling like this is the right place for me. Like I just choose what I feel like will be the best for me, and even my parents was on the same page as me. So when I came here, like I was just excited, but I'm not a big fan of the cold weather, but
Other than the cold weather, what's the best thing about Washington State? Is it the fans? Is it your teammates and getting? I think it's 10 international flags that we're going to have when it comes to international players day at Beasley Coliseum. So to have that much international flavor, that's got to be cool to be part of that.
It's cool because we can share like a lot of valors. Like there's so many people who from Europe, so like it's cool to share with them. And like I think the best part is the people, because the city, I'm from Paris, so it's very different.
Right.
So but it's the people. Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more on Paris in just a little bit. I do have a question here from Shasha, and now Charlotte's also from France. How cool is it to have her with you on this team? First of all, let's go with that question.
It's good because Shasha, I know Shasha since few years ago, but we didn't like really linked up like here. But now we have a chance like to be together, and I just like I just like being with her.
Yeah.
Like she's funny.
She wants me to ask you a question in French, so I'm going to do my best at this. I never took a French class, but I'm going to try. You can tell me how bad I am with this. I think it's quelle est la plus grosse? Am I getting that correct?
Grosse.
Grosse, and then bibese?
Bêtise.
The bêtise que tu es
Fête.
lycée?
Au lycée.
Au lycée. So what is that question? Do you have any dance fun fact? Because we are told you are an incredible dancer. Is that true?
Okay. So the first question is like, what is your biggest?
No, so there are two different questions. All right, that's just like I said, I don't know French very well. So what's the first question? Tell us what it is, and go ahead and answer.
The first question is, what is your biggest mistake you made when you were in high school?
Okay.
So I run one. How can I say that? Like my supervisors was searching me and my friends on the campus because we wasn't in our room during the curfew. So
Okay. So that was the biggest thing, missing curfew with your team? Okay,
Yeah.
all right. And then do you have any dance fun fact? Are you an incredible dancer?
I think I am.
Sounds like other people think you might be too.
I'm just shy. And When I was younger, I used to do shows in front of my family in the living room, but I was the biggest fan of Michael Jackson. And I tried to do his move like this and turn, and I hit my knees like against my head, and I just fell.
Okay. Did you have wardrobe changes too, or was it just in one outfit?
Outfit.
Okay.
Always.
All right. Again, visiting with Diana Mendez. We're going to keep you on for one more segment. We'll come back, ask her a little bit about Paris. Got a few more questions here for her as well. All of that, if they're cool with that. She's cool with it. We'll be back after this, live from Zeppo's, and we're here for the Cougar Basketball Hour from Learfield.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End of friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Calling all Coug fans. While the Cougars are busy taking home the win this season, you can download the McDonald's app and take home our new Game Day Bundle. Big enough to feed the whole squad. Get 20 golden, juicy chicken McNuggets, plus 2 medium orders of the world-famous fries you love, all for just $11.99. Talk about a winning combination. Must opt into rewards at participating McDonald's. Valid through 2024-25 basketball season. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hi, I'm Caden Wickersham, a pitcher on your Washington State University Cougar baseball team. I want to tell you about Krista Gross, a big supporter of mine. She's someone who's always there, helping me without being asked. Krista makes sure I have what I need to succeed, and she'll do the same thing for you. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, trust someone with a big heart and a winning track record. Find her online at KristaGross.com. That's Krista with a K, KristaGross.com.
I'm Krista Gross, your lifelong realtor. Find me online at KristaGross.com. That's Krista with a K, KristaGross.com.
Looking sharp has never been this much fun. Pullman's #1 barbershop, the Pullman Man Shop, is more than just haircuts. It's an experience. Our seasoned barbers deliver precision haircuts, buzz cuts, and real straight razor hot towel shaves that'll leave you looking and feeling your absolute best. And while you're here, enjoy free shuffleboard, free pool, and free arcade games. WSU students and faculty receive 20% off any service every Thursday. Step into the Pullman Man Shop at 1025 East Main, where style meets good times. Walk-ins only. themanshops.com.
Well, great to have you with us. It is your Cougar Basketball Hour live from Zeppo's, and we'll have Coach Ethridge back with us in just a little bit. But first, a few more minutes with Diana Mendez. We were kind of shuffling through the playing cards that they're going to be giving away again Thursday night. Show up at 6 o'clock, and you get your commemorative playing cards. It's got some fun facts about each of the players, and they're just nice little cute collectible cards. What do you think of them? Do you like them?
I like it. I like my picks.
Yeah? Okay. Yeah. Again, we've got Dee with us here. Couple more questions. We were talking about Paris. Okay, let's say I'm going to Paris. I know all the tourist attraction stuff. Could you give me like one or two things, since you have been in Paris, that maybe I should do that maybe people wouldn't normally do when they go to Paris?
When people go to Paris, they go see the Eiffel Tower, Montmartre, and there is a lot of good bakeries. So Cédric Grolet, I recommend, and yeah.
Yeah, I had a friend when she was in college, went to France, and she said she could have just eaten her way through France because the food is so good over in France.
Yeah,
Do you have a favorite dish in France that you can't get here, or just isn't made quite right over here compared to what you can get in France?
The food is very different, but my favorite food is pasta. We can do pasta here, but it's not taste
It's not
the
quite
same.
the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. Got some questions here for you. Who is your favorite WNBA player?
Used to be Candace Parker, but I really like Gabby Williams, and she's played for France. So.
Okay. And just a French, little French nationality there. And why'd you like Candace Parker so much?
Because she's just great. Like everything she do looks easy. So.
What about what is your favorite NBA player?
Used to be Kobe.
Okay.
But currently it's LaMelo Ball and maybe Anthony Edwards.
Okay, Anthony Edwards is a good one. They're both good, to be quite honest with you. Do you model your game after anyone in particular?
I like KD's because he's tall
Kevin
and he
Durant.
can do a lot of things. So, yeah, KD.
As far as your time being here and going through your first season at Washington State University, what do you think has been maybe the toughest thing on the learning curve when it comes to on the basketball side of things? And is there something that maybe you're going, all right, do you feel like it, I guess as we're getting 2/3 of the way through the season, do you feel like things are coming a little bit better for you and a little bit just more natural for you now that we're kind of into the flow of the season?
Yeah. In the beginning, not really, but because it's different, and since I was injured, like I need to get used to play with like we are 5 on the floor. So yes, and now I think things coming naturally because like we just practice, we grind every day, and yeah.
Okay. What happened with that monster block in the Oregon State game? Because you had a huge block in that Oregon State game. You want to take us through that?
Yeah. So from the scout, I know number 30 will come, like just try to get on the rim. So I'm just like I'm waiting for you here, and then I just said not in my house, like yeah.
Absolutely, I love that. Not in our house. And the Cougars continue to be the best blocking team in the country as far as most blocks. What does that feel like, that you guys have got more blocks than anybody else? You're third in the country when it comes to blocks per game, but more blocks than anybody else in women's basketball right now.
Yeah. I'm just happy. Like Alex used to block, Sarah block, Kenji block, I block. It's just good.
A block party.
Yeah, block party.
All right, let's give it up for Dee as she has been able to join us here and did a great job
Thank
here on the
you.
Cougar Basketball Hour. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
joining
so
us.
much.
Back with Coach Ethridge after this. It's your Cougar Basketball Hour from Zeppos, and it's also from Learfield.
Do you ever pay attention to overhead power lines? If you're like most people, you don't, but you should, especially when you're working up on a roof or carrying a ladder outdoors. Kids who climb trees and fly kites and adults with drones need to watch out for power lines too. And on the off chance that you find a downed power line, stay at least 10 feet away and quickly call 911 and Avista. Always pay attention to power lines. It's your best line of defense. Avista, we just want you to be safe.
Bro, you go hard for the WSU Cougs.
What do you mean?
You're literally wearing a Coug jersey that you bought from the Coug store with your Coug debit card. And you don't stop talking about how every time you use your card, Gisa donates to the Cougar Athletic Fund.
I guess I do go pretty hard for my Cougs.
If you go hard for your Cougs, get your WSU card today at Gisa.com. Go Cougs!
This is my barbershop. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
Welcome to the Pullman Man Shop, Pullman's #1 barbershop, where our seasoned barbers give you precision haircuts, buzz cuts, and straight razor shaves so sharp when we're done, your face will look like the day you were born. While we're working on that dome of yours, enjoy free shuffleboard, free pool, free arcade games, and ATVs. That's right, maggot. You can play while we turn that head of hair into something presentable. We'll fix it. Can't and won't are not words we'll use. The Pullman Man Shop, 1025 East Main. Visit themanshops.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle Thornton, linebacker and captain of your Washington State University Cougar football team. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, I recommend my friend and supporter, Krista Gross. She's a 3-time Realtor of the Year and a big fan of Cougar athletics. The only thing she enjoys more than supporting the Cougs is providing excellent service. Check her Google reviews to see how much her clients love her. You can find her online at KristaGross.com. That's Krista with a K, KristaGross.com. Go Cougs!
Well, we do welcome you back. Cougar Basketball Hour with head coach Kamie Ethridge, the Junior Cougar Kids Club back for another season. Presented by Toyota. It's the official kids club of the Washington State Cougars, and it's the best way for the youngest members of Cougar Nation to show off their Cougar pride. Find out more information about your Junior Coug membership perks at wsucougars.com/Junior Cougs. Looking forward to, again, a couple of games at home. Get a Thursday night game at 6 o'clock and then a Saturday afternoon game at 2 o'clock. And somebody whispered in my ear we might have somebody special in the audience. Mom is going to be in town.
Yes,
is that right?
My mom's coming tomorrow, so she'll be at the games and staying with us. But can I just give a minute to Dee?
Yes.
And just brag on her, because I think every single day she goes to practice, all she hears is me griping and complaining and wanting more from her. And that is the reality of the freshmen. It's like they're so good. Our freshmen are so good. And I the magnitude of putting young players out on the court, 4 freshmen and a sophomore potentially, and they play at the level that we're wanting them to. But they can never satisfy me.
Right.
And just like Tara still can't. And she's like, she's thinking, what in the world is going on with you? But I'm just, and every freshman goes through this emotional roller coaster. And as much as we're trying to build their physical maturity and their mental maturity and their IQ to scouts maturity, it's also like emotional, like stability. Like you just have to find a stability of figuring this thing out. And you don't do it as a freshman. You just have too much. You don't understand it all. But she is a talent beyond belief. And where she's going to go is amazing, but I'm just saying the expectation that we have of her is going to be she's going to help us this year in so many ways, just like Shasha, who's back there, just like Candace is back there, and she's a freshman.
Yeah.
I mean, our freshman class can be so powerful for us this year, and they're getting better every single day. It's not the easiest thing. In fact, it's incredibly hard to stay on a even balance, but just love those guys and think she's improving every single day. I don't think the freshmen understand how much they're improving, because I just think they feel the weight of the world on them all the time. But just let's keep them up and knowing that they're impactful and they're making us a better team.
Yeah, I mean, to look out on the court and know that obviously the most you can have on the court at any given time is one senior, because you only have one senior, and that's Wally, Terrell Wallach. And that all these other people, I mean, not necessarily babies, but I mean, certainly the freshmen. And then for Dee as well, the fact that she's been limited in practice as well, to then add that to the throwing curveballs at her, I think has made it even more challenging, but she's risen up to that challenge lately.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's hard. We gotta manage her knees, and still she's not 100% and can't go in full-on practice day after day after day. And that stunts her development. That stunts her individual development of her footwork and the things that she's got to build on. But, again, whatever we can get out of her is going to help us, because she's such a talent. And the fact that she can shoot the ball, the fact that she can guard, the fact that she can guard any position on the floor. Again, just an athlete that just impacts the game every single time she's on the floor. So, just got to keep her believing in herself, and that's not the easiest thing to do with games coming like they come, and practice, which is, there's nothing easy about our practice either.
Yeah, and one last thing on it, and then we'll take another break, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit about what's coming up this week. I think the other thing, too, certainly from the start of the season, just from sitting where I'm sitting to where we've been here the last few weeks, I mean, to see the improvement of Candace, of Dee, of Shasha, of Alex Colville, of really all those post players and players that are willing to get inside I mean, our points in the paint have gotten better, I think, with each game as we've kind of gone along as far as fighting with some other teams. And we're a team that should be built to win some points in the paint in this conference. And then also, I just think that, again, to see that improvement and knowing that, okay, we've got another month to go here before we hit the stretch run of the conference tournament and going, it's exciting to see where this team can grow.
Yeah. I mean, I think at the start we weren't sure about our 5 position, and now with the stability of Alex and Candace being what they are, and Dee being completely different than those two, but can play it in an effective way. Tara, I mean, our points in the paint, again, it's not always about the 5 players scoring points in the paint, even though that's crucial for us to succeed long term. But we also get people that drive it, and you have Tara that posts in the paint. And so the fact that we're dominating kind of points in the paint most of the time in our league is really big, and that's something we haven't done in the past. So that's a credit to us. Now we have to match that with great 3-point shooting, and when we do that, we're pretty good. We're in a pretty good spot, and we can't be, it's hard to beat us.
Yeah, we certainly saw it in the first 20 minutes against Oregon State. Now the key is putting it all together for 40 minutes and then back-to-back games and so forth and so on. All right, let's take that quick break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about the 2 opponents coming into town. Again, home this week, Thursday night at Beasley, 6 o'clock Saturday afternoon at 2 against San Diego. We're back with the coach after this. It's Cougar Basketball Hour from Zeppos from Learfield.
The next time you visit Northern Quest, we suggest bringing your sea legs and your lead foot. It's the $100,000 Benz Voyage giveaway. Play daily with your Camas Rewards card, and you could win a cruise line adventure. Or a brand new Mercedes GLC 300 with an inline 4 turbo. Tax and licensing included. Speeding tickets are on you, though. The Benz Voyage giveaway. Grand prize drawing March 31st. Details at northernquest.com.
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at U.S. Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Whoa, coming through!
Or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel, good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smarter together. Member FDIC.
Looking sharp has never been this much fun. Pullman's #1 barbershop, the Pullman Man Shop, is more than just haircuts. It's an experience. Our seasoned barbers deliver precision haircuts, buzz cuts, and real straight razor hot towel shaves that'll leave you looking and feeling your absolute best. And while you're here, enjoy free shuffleboard, free pool, and free arcade games. WSU students and faculty receive 20% off any service every Thursday. Step into the Pullman Man Shop at 1025 East Main, where style meets good times. Walk-ins only. themanshops.com.
Hi, I'm Caden Wickersham, a pitcher on your Washington State University Cougar baseball team. I want to tell you about Krista Gross, a big supporter of mine. She's someone who's always there, helping me without being asked. Krista makes sure I have what I need to succeed, and she'll do the same thing for you. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, trust someone with a big heart and a winning track record. Find her online at KristaGross.com. That's Krista with a K. KristaGross.com.
I'm Krista Gross, your lifelong realtor. Find me online at KristaGross.com. That's Krista with a K, KristaGross.com.
Go Cougs.
Well, Steve Grubbs, welcome back once again here at Cougar Basketball Hour. We're live from Zeppos as we are heading your way on a Wednesday night this week because of the game that we played Monday night in Corvallis. Back to Monday night next week and for the rest of the season with you on Monday nights here from Zeppos. I don't know whether it's the 5 trips to California, 5 separate trips to California, as well as a volleyball trip to Wyoming in the last 6 weeks, but my brain is a little bit in any case, I've been saying that the game on Saturday against San Diego is at 2. That's actually the following week up in Spokane against Gonzaga. That game is at 2 o'clock. This week, 6 o'clock against Pacific, and just want to make sure everybody knows, noon on Saturday. So my apologies for that, as we did, I misspoke earlier, so it'll be 6 o'clock on Thursday, noon on Saturday.
We like early.
Well, absolutely.
Although maybe in the future we'll move some of those to 2.
Okay. Speaking of Pacific and San Diego, 2 teams we have played already this season. Pacific up first. They're going to be in town tomorrow night. That's as quick as the game is coming.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on Pacific and what we saw from them down in Stockton the first time around?
You know, just it's so much about the turnaround. You know, we come back and we get in at, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock yesterday, and give the kids the day off, even though they got up at, 5 o'clock in the morning to come back. And then this morning, it's human nature. You're not going to come just on edge, ready to go, and they heard about that, and it's like, I mean, teams, and we've seen it, teams have been up for us. I mean, nobody's afraid of us. Nobody is afraid of us. Like, they look at us and go, we can beat them, and we've had some spectacular individual performances from teams that have beaten us. Players that are the third and fourth leading scorers they come and they just dominate Portland. I mean, we've had some amazing individual performances that we've had to defend. And that's good. That's good for us. It's just like, I don't know that our players always understand that everybody's mad at us. They don't like us. You know, they don't like us. They don't like that we came into their league. They have attitude about the Pac doing this, and quite frankly, our kids have no clue about that.
Sure.
They're just like, we're just playing so and so, and you know, and even Michael Jordan, like he was the greatest example of someone that just got mad about something. Someone told him a story about someone that was probably not true, and he just like became a beast and vicious and went out and killed them because someone told them a lie about something. But competitors do that. You got to work your way into just savage and mean, and they're out to get something. They took your lunch money. They punched you in the face and you didn't deserve it. And then you got to fight back, and you got to come with that kind of attitude. And our young players don't quite have that mentality, and I think that's the point. I mean, Pacific's going to come in here. They're going to think they can beat us, and they can. We have been in every game has been somewhat close, and there's been a moment where we may separate, and then there's been moments where we haven't, and we haven't made the play. So I don't expect anything different. I just want us to understand that the fight's going to happen tomorrow night at what time?
6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. Thank you very much.
At 6 o'clock.
That's what it says right here. I'm almost 100% sure.
We all need to be there.
6 o'clock.
And when the bell rings, we got to be fighting, and we got to be throwing the first punch. And I just want our team to do that, and I'll be there at 6.
And then at noon on Saturday, San Diego coming to town. It's been a bit since we played San Diego.
Yeah, forever. And you know, even Pacific, we're two wildly different teams.
Yeah.
You know, I watched the game against them the first time, and I'm just like, yeah, we're better. And then I look at them, and they're like, yeah, they're completely different. So, you know, it's a month later that you're playing these guys, 6 weeks even for San Diego. You know, but that's the point. Hopefully you're getting better. Hopefully you can adjust to what they're doing and all the different things. You don't have that much time to scout. You just have to be good fundamentally. And, you know, ultimately you just have to make more baskets than the other team, and that's always a challenge. We got to try to find a way to put the ball in the basket.
And you kind of talked about that with Pacific and to some degree with San Diego, but that's really the rest of the schedule, right? Is that, I mean, if we play our best, we can beat anybody in this conference. There's no question in my mind that we can beat anybody in this conference. But if we play not our best, we can be beaten. And I mean, whether that's true with anybody, but I just think that this conference is kind of built that way. We're, all right, the 4 or 5 teams that are in the top half of the conference right now are probably a little bit better than the bottom teams in the conference, but not so much better, at least not that they've proven on a consistent basis that the bottom teams can't get them if they don't have an off night, and those teams on the bottom of the conference come in with a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, I think Portland and Gonzaga, I mean, you got to give them a lot of respect. I think they're separating themselves. We're all chasing them. But it's true. Like, everybody else has shown that obviously, you know, you can not perform well and lose. It's very competitive. I mean, we've got a young roster that just, you know, sometimes doesn't get it. And the reality is again, we're just counting on the fact that, you know, we have a ceiling that can get better. You know, we got 4 weeks to go, and I'm not sure everybody can say that. Again, I keep saying that every week, I think, to this group. But, you know, we got freshmen that, believe me, every single day they come into the gym, every single game they play, light bulbs are coming on, and they can really, they're athletic, they're tough, they're competitive. You know, we had some of the most spirited practices we've had because they're shot making. They're making shots during practice. It carries over to the games. I just think we have a lot of potential to be a team that can be really dangerous as we get to postseason play.
And 6 o'clock tomorrow night, noon on Saturday when we take on the San Diego Toreros. All right, we'll take one more break, come back with the final few minutes of the show. It's next. Cougar basketball from Learfield.
With the WSU debit card from Giesa, it's hard to tell who's supporting who. When Coug fans use their WSU card, they show off their Coug pride, and donations are made back to Cougar Athletics. But the card supports the Coug fan with big savings by helping them grow their money with Smart Plus checking. So, does the card support the Coug fan, or does the Coug fan support the card? It doesn't matter. All that matters is that the WSU card supports Cougar Athletics and your wallet at the same time. Get your WSU card at Giesa.com. Checking account transaction requirements, terms and conditions apply. Insured by NCUA.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Hi, I'm Kyle Thornton, linebacker and captain of your Washington State University Cougar football team. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, I recommend my friend and supporter, Krista Gross. She is a 3-time Realtor of the Year and a big fan of Cougar athletics. The only thing she enjoys more than supporting the Cougs is providing excellent service. Check her Google reviews to see how much her clients love her. You can find her online at KristaGross.com. That's Krista with a K, KristaGross.com. Go Cougs!
This is my barbershop. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
Welcome to the Pullman Man Shop, Pullman's #1 barbershop, where our seasoned barbers give you precision haircuts, buzz cuts, and straight razor shaves so sharp when we're done, your face will look like the day you were born. While we're working on that dome of yours, enjoy free shuffleboard, free pool, free arcade games, and ATVs. That's right, maggot. You can play while we turn that head of hair into something presentable. We'll fix it. Can't and won't are not words we'll use. The Pullman Man Shop, 1025 East Main. Visit themanshops.com.
Well, we are back here. Final few minutes of the show. Again, your Cougar Basketball Hour with head coach of Washington State University women's basketball, Kamie Ethridge, as the Cougars getting set for a couple of games at home this week. The Pacific Tigers again tomorrow night, international night, and obviously that's a big night for us, Coach, with I think 10 international flags that will be on display for the Cougars representing this roster.
Let's go, and I guess I'll get the Texas flag out there too.
Go right ahead, absolutely. And then we've got the playing cards. Have you looked at the playing cards? What do you think about those?
Love it, love it. And this is just so our team. Like, I don't even think they're like this, but they love themselves.
Okay.
And they love their pictures, and they look great.
They do,
That's
and
awesome.
they got a little get to know on the back of them. That way you can get to know the players just a little bit better as well. And then on Saturday at noon when San Diego comes in, always a special day, Girls, Women in Sports Day. And obviously that's something that's very special to the women's basketball program.
Yeah, I just love that day. And again, so many people help us on that day. That's a day that we would love to do clinics, and I think they're doing clinics aside just to bring young players in. And clearly we need the community behind us and young women and young people to look up to our players and come to these games. I mean, it's just a great opportunity for us to reach out and do as much as we can for the community.
Yeah, it always makes me think about the past and honoring the past and thinking about the future and going in and just the people that built the women's sports here at Washington State University and then taking it forward into now the 21st century.
It's so true. Like just I look up there and see those the banners that we have up there prior to our game almost every time during the national anthem. And again, great tradition here. Marsha's here tonight. She's always with us and supporting us. And again, just, you got to know what people, the trailblazers that came before us, that nothing was easy and nothing was given. And they had to fight for every imaginable hour on the court, jersey, heck, they had to wash and dry their own stuff. They had to drive their own vans. I mean, every imaginable thing. And these kids don't quite understand that. We're reaping the benefits of of the things that the people did before us, and just want to honor them. And again, just the youth needs to understand the history, and then we need to just springboard ourselves and continue to springboard ourselves into the future.
All right, that's going to do it for the show. Big Go Cougs to the fans coming out here.
Hey, love this group. This is the best. Thank you, guys. Go Cougs.
Go Cougs. So glad to have you with us. 6 o'clock tomorrow night, noon on Saturday. This has been the Cougar Basketball Hour with Kamie Ethridge, live from Zeppo's from Learfield.
You've been listening to the Cougar Basketball Hour. Tonight's show